Joined now by Landon Redding, who's the new CFO of Evenco. Landon, how's it going?
Excellent, thank you.
Great. So let's jump into the company. You joined the team in October, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so maybe can you just tell us a little bit about your background and why it was a good fit for you to join Evenco?
Certainly, yeah. So my background is I'm a CPA, and I spent about 8 years at PricewaterhouseCoopers in their mining practice. And from there I moved on to work at Sheridan International in their financial reporting group for a couple of years. And then from there I moved on to Kinross Gold, Director of Financial Reporting, dealing mainly with external reporting, MD&A financial statement disclosures, all focused on IFRS. And then from there I moved into a private company called Blue Goose Capital, makers of organic beef, chicken, and trout, which is really good from a biological asset standpoint, and sort of transitioned nicely into my role here at Evenco.
Cool. So in December, Evenco got the license. So maybe walk us through that timeline and what you're able to do in what time frame in terms of from getting a license to actually reaping the rewards.
Yeah, certainly. So I think in July of last year we had our second flower room ready to go, and the Health Canada approvals came through in early December of last year, which would allow us then to put plants into those rooms, which will take typically 8 to 12 weeks depending on the year. This time of year there's less daylight, so it takes a bit longer. So we're hoping that the plants we were putting there in December, we'll be able to start harvesting those in early March, mid-March, and then into the end of March we should be hitting full stride on that second flower room, which would really allow us to realize our full capacity at the current 220,000 square feet that we have.
220, that's a lot. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of just broad stroke financials, what can investors look forward to in 2019?
Yeah, I think 2019 is going to be a fantastic year for Evenco. We're really going to be hitting our full stride at end of March, like I said, so sort of the last 3 quarters, we're going to see, I think, a big uptick in the sales numbers. We're going to see some positive EBITDA numbers coming out of there in the second, third, and fourth quarters. We're really hopeful that we'll be able to realize on our sales mix strategy as well. Right now we're looking to be launching products into Newfoundland, the rec market, sometime in mid to late February. We're working through some of the purchase order details right now to finalize that. We're already shipping clones into Newfoundland, one of the first companies to be shipping the clones. That's been received pretty good considering the time of year that we're in, and we're hopeful that in the spring that'll pick up, and we're also hopeful that other jurisdictions will pick up on that as well and allow us to work with them on the clone shipping. In terms of other financial highlights for the year, I think in the last interview Melinda had mentioned we are looking to do some financing right now. We're currently building out 780,000 square foot expansion project, which started in June of last year. The project's been working very well so far. Things are on track. Most of the materials are arrived and on site right now. The workers are there daily, although I'm not sure the last few days if they've been on site necessarily. But we definitely have active workers there. We're working on building out the boiler room, the irrigation system right now. And so part of the financing we're working through various options is to come up with the funds we're going to need to finish that and move that project forward and keep it on track for completion the summer of this year.
Okay, so is that, I'm just guessing that's a build out of your existing Strathroy operation, or?
Exactly, yeah. So it's going to augment the existing facilities. We're going to leverage some of the administrative space, processing, packaging, drying rooms, and then we're going to be building a new facility out and around the existing structure. It'll all be integrated and fully functional, and it'll be very exciting. We're very much looking forward to how that's going to continue to let the company build and grow and leverage the brand.
Cool. Just looking at your latest press release on January 3rd, there's a board appointment of Ms. Sherry Mogg-Edwards. Just talk a little bit about how that's going to help the company moving forward.
Certainly, yeah. Sherry was an excellent addition to the board of Evenco, being a female-focused brand, and her being a leader at the LCBO, having CPG experience. It ties in very nicely with the strategy of Evenco to launch CPG products this fall when it legalizes in Canada. The hope is we're going to be able to continue to build our existing brand and allow Sherry to leverage her network, her expertise to help us focus on the right areas, build the strong partnerships that we are hoping to develop, and really accelerate the process for us in terms of entering the CPG space.
Just curious from your perspective, the launch of REC, and what has surprised you, if anything, and how do you see things changing moving forward, and are you happy with the current situation?
I mean, I think the rec market in Canada has developed a little more slowly than people would like to have seen in general. The supply shortages certainly haven't been a big help to allowing access to the product lines for the most consumers. I do think, though, that all companies are talking about their supply coming online, new expansions coming online. So I think that's going to start to see a correction in terms of supply-demand curve on the rec market. Despite the fact that we were a bit late in getting our approval from Health Canada in December of last year, it hasn't really hurt us in terms of our ability to sell, just given that there's still a huge demand for product out there. So we're very excited to be moving into the rec market in Newfoundland in February.
Okay, so in Newfoundland, is that the only place you're allowed to sell at the current time?
No, no. Newfoundland just happens to be first because we've already dealt with them on the clone sales side of things, so we have a good relationship there. We also are working with Ontario and British Columbia, where we have memos of understanding in place, and we're hoping to be launching additional product in there come, we'll say, mid to late March, once the second flower room comes online and our ability to have higher yields and higher harvest will come up.
And the clone sales, what does that look like? You're selling a clone to another licensed producer, or what's?
So yeah, we're able to sell to other licensed producers, but right now the clone sales we're doing through Newfoundland are to individuals that want to be able to take advantage of growing plants at home, so they can control the inputs to the product and how it behaves and what chemicals they may or may not want to put in there in terms of the growth of the cycle. So we've got some pretty unique packaging that we've sourced that allows the products to be shipped, stay warm, stay alive. You can ship up to 4 clones per package, same price as if you ship one, so I suggest people look at buying more than one if they're going to. And then, there's a lot of other companies out there. It's sort of this ancillary market around the cannabis space that allows people to buy light systems, watering systems, etc. for their homes, and that's, we're trying to help facilitate that.
James just bought a whole bunch of stuff to grow stuff at home. So, but with the clones from Evenco, what's the like, if I was a consumer, why would I want to grab one of your clones?
Certainly, I think right now, at least in Newfoundland, we're one of the only people offering clones for sale, and certainly there's certain strains that are offered that have expected THC ranges, CBD ranges. So I think it really depends on the end users, what they're looking for out of the plants, and we're trying to offer a variety to meet all users' needs in terms of what we would offer in terms of the range of THC, CBD content. So I think it's really up to the individual to decide what strains they want, and hopefully we're able to demonstrate a continued success in the plants we ship out and getting good feedback from the customers in terms of that they're alive, they're healthy, they're well, and they're performing well. Yeah,
that brings up a point, because I guess in order for you guys to make the decision to sell those in the first place, you must have understood that there's a market there for people that do want to grow their own plants. So
yeah, I mean, I haven't done a lot of research myself, but what I understand is that in places like Uruguay, where it's been legalized for some time, there's roughly 1 to 2% of the population that have started growing their plants on their own. You can kind of extract that a little bit to see how it would play out in Canada down the road. And I think there's also a small bit of novelty as well. Right now, people are allowed to do it, and they want to maybe try their green thumb and see how they can handle it. But I think it's certainly a good opportunity for consumers to look at other ways of obtaining and consuming their cannabis.
How much do those cost?
Right now, we're selling the clones for about $20 each.
Okay.
Shipping, flat fee, anywhere in Newfoundland, we're doing for $35 right now.
Wow, okay, that's cool. Landon, that's awesome. Thanks for coming in and giving us that update. And we'd like to have you come back once things are rolling out more in 2019.
That'd be fantastic.
Awesome.